I've been interested more with VR technology, and in today's video I'm talking about PlayStation's decision to not make the PSVR2, Sony's next VR headset for the PlayStation 5, not be backwards compatible with original PlayStation VR games. And so, I didn't know what I thought of the PSVR when it came out. It was fairly expensive. I think over time it drew me in more and more because it had some good games, and it really paved the way, showing that VR was a real deal. It could offer a great gaming experience. There was almost 500 games made for the PSVR. That's pretty surprising. Looking at sales numbers, the PlayStation 4 was a huge success, and the attach rate of PSVR headsets was fairly small, but it did sell about 5 million units. And so I know that there's fans out there. I know my good friend John Riggs is a big VR fan and got me kind of actually more interested in some of the games. And so I investigated more, and I have my favorites. Do I play it all the time? No, but I have to say, I think the technology's there, and I think that Sony did a great job of really digging in and supporting something. I'm sure they lost a bunch of money, but I have some favorite games. And so, going back, I have to say my number one game playing on the PlayStation VR, one of my favorites, is Astrobot. This is simply amazing. I love that game, everything they did with it. And it was really cool, the built-in game for the PlayStation 5. And I'm really looking forward to seeing what they're doing with the next generation. Squadrons, another one that is great in VR. And I know that technology-wise, the PlayStation VR headset was kind of like technology-wise behind some of the other competitors that came out after it. But it really showed a mainstream company support. It showed it can be done. And, there was some good games. And it's cool that a lot of the games are physical, too. I know there's a lot of collectors that watch my channel. And I think it's a fun subset to go for. I don't have a ton of PlayStation VR games. I probably have, probably like 40 on physical. Iron Man's another one that I enjoyed quite a bit, and it was included in a recent bundle with the VR headset. Tetris Effect. Now, I know some of these are available on other platforms as well. I know Tetris Effect is on like literally everything, but it's good. It's good. And then the Wipeout, the VR option in Wipeout, the Mega Collection is pretty awesome. So this is just a handful. You're going to have your favorites. I know there's a ton of other games that are amazing with PlayStation VR. And a lot of them are on physical, and you're going to have your favorites. And definitely in the comments below, let me know what your favorite PlayStation VR games are. And a surprising move, Sony recently announced, by the way, the PlayStation VR is going to come out next year, target early 2023. I don't think a price has been announced. And, some of the big games coming out for it are Horizon Call of the Mountain, Walking Dead, Saints and Sinners, Chapter 2, Resident Evil 4 Remake is going to have some exclusive content for VR. And they're targeting 1.5 million units, which is more than the range of PlayStation 5s sold in that same time frame, I do believe. So, anyways, Sony recently announced that PlayStation VR 2 is not backwards compatible with the huge library that they've built in the last 6 years. I think this is a huge mistake. Whether or not it's going to impact sales is to be determined. But, for me, a lot of people have supported Sony, and I get why. They explain why, and I'll get to that in a moment, why it's not backwards compatible. But I'm always a big fan of backwards compatibility. The PlayStation 5 can play PlayStation 4 games. I'm a big fan of the Xbox Series X because of its backwards compatibility with other platforms Microsoft has done. I'm always a big fan of backwards compatibility, and I think to a certain extent most people are. I even look at digital formats, digital platforms such as Steam. You know, Steam has been around a long time, and you can play games of yesteryear all in one platform. You know, even looking at stuff like that, I'm a big fan of that. And so whenever a company comes out with a new platform and then they cut off all the support that people have spent money on, games, that's not going to go over well. And so I think this could definitely impact the success of the PlayStation VR 2. First and foremost, it's going to be expensive. I don't know how much it's going to be, but it's going to be hundreds of dollars. It's going to be at least probably $400 to match Meta Quest 2. And we're going to get to that in a minute too, because we're going to talk about how that could impact as well. Because there's a successor coming that's going to probably directly compete with PlayStation VR 2. It's going to be super high tech. You know, they've talked about the specs. It has new technology that it utilizes, and Sony explains because they went with a different direction with PlayStation VR 2, there's no way it can be compatible with original PlayStation VR games. So on one hand, Sony was moving away from outdated technology. I get that. You know, I'm not going to really miss these. Okay, that was probably my biggest complaint of PlayStation VR. I was using kind of some outdated controllers. I'm glad that they're moving on with technology. Unfortunately, because they went in such a different direction, it's making it impossible for PSVR games to play on its new platform. I think that's really divisive. So your library starts from scratch. So you can only compare what's going to be available when this comes out. Now, Sony's talking about having 20 games available, approximately 20 games available at launch. With its competitor, is going to have many more games available, many games that were on PlayStation VR. And so, gosh, that's really a tough one. You know, the original PlayStation VR headset, it was limited with technology, had a lot of cables, the resolution, the frame rate, all that were restricted. And I just, you know, when I heard about the PlayStation VR 2, the first thing I was excited about was taking my original PlayStation VR games and having the ability in my mind, you know, to play them with better resolution, you know, and that's not going to happen now. I think there's a lot of people that are disappointed with this choice. I know there's a lot of fans of PlayStation. I wish them nothing but the success. You know, I don't want to trash the PlayStation VR 2, but I do think it's an interesting situation because competition is going to come out, and I think competition is going to show why it's important to build your library and offer backwards compatibility. Meta is coming out with a significant upgrade to the Oculus Quest 2. It's not a sequel, but it's like, you know, a better, bigger, better version of the Meta Quest 2, and that's coming out in October. And so the more details will be discussed as that gets sooner. That's right around the corner. And so, you know, if that's offering a better experience, a standalone experience, and it's backwards compatible with its library, that definitely is going to impact, I think, people whether or not they choose to go with a Meta headset or to go with something with a PSVR 2. And so, first and foremost, hardware for the PlayStation 5 is still hard to find. You know, combining, it's expensive. So it's, you know, it's $500 for a PlayStation 5, still hard to find. And then I would say the PSVR 2 is going to be $400, $500 easy, unless they can get that price down or take a hit. But yeah, I think both things are going to be very challenging, and I do think it's a bad move. I do think that it possibly could impact sales or demand for this next VR headset. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm sure what they're making, going with a new direction and new technology, is going to have amazing new games. But people are going to have to wait for those. So hopefully, and what they're probably banking on, is the new games are such better quality and experience of VR that it's going to attract people to play those games. I get what they're trying to do. I just don't know if it makes a lot of consumer sense, because there's a lot of people that have purchased lots of VR games and equipment that are just kind of left out. And I know for sure that, you know, The original PlayStation VR is long in the tooth. It's winding down just like PlayStation 4 is. It's been on the market a long time. And so, and you can still play that, and that's fine. You can even get an adapter to use your PlayStation VR headset on your PlayStation 5 and play original VR games. So that's awesome too. But I think this move is tough, and I definitely want, in the comments below, I want you to tell me, what do you think of this decision? Is this something that is concerning? Is it going to impact whether or not you pick up a new PlayStation VR 2? Do you not care? Are you going with another option? What VR choice is yours and why? In the comments below, let me know. I want to thank everybody for viewing this video, and thank you for the ongoing support. I have 1,000 other videos you can check out, and in the playlist below you can check out my different videos that I've done, and thank you so much. You folks are wonderful and beautiful. Let's keep it positive. This is the Immortal John Hancock. You have a good day.